too shy for love. I've been hurt before. All's fair in love and war. So I'll snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side?
Yo, 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 what's up? Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know. I'm fucking streaming. Not at home, so my shit is not ideal. Let's get rid of you. What's up? Can everyone see me? Can everyone hear me? Let me know in the chat. Cause yeah, I'm not at home right now. I'm out of town for a wedding, so I am dealing with some technical issues, and I have a hard enough time with technology as it is. But yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. What's up, everybody in the chat? Hopefully the video is okay. I know I don't have my green screen and my head probably looks smaller than usual. I also apologize in advance for my voice. I am a little bit hoarse from the wedding, which was super fun. But yeah. All right, cool. Sounds like it's good. All right. So we're back. Another episode of Ethereum and Chill with me, Trader Mayne. So appreciate you guys all tuning in. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed the altcoin series video I put out this week. I think that's probably my best video I've done to date in terms of just like a super clear, concise explanation of a concept, and one that you can implement your trading right away with a little bit of practice. I had a lot of fun recording it. I definitely want to do more videos like that. What I think I need to figure out is the best way to kind of go forward with my channel, because it seems like I do the altcoin series and I'm covering the altcoins, but then I also want to kind of teach concepts. So it might make more sense to actually make another video series. One for, I'll have my streams, I'll have the altcoin videos where I just cover your guys' altcoin requests, and then I'll have a completely separate series where I just go over concepts that I use, price action concepts, kind of just like an educational series. Because I do think that that will be beneficial to you guys. The feedback on that video so far has been amazing, so I really appreciate that from you guys. Keep watching it, sharing it, liking it, and that kind of thing, because that really helps me out. Yeah, I'm going to keep pumping those out one a week. So we'll just kind of go from there. I see some people in the chat saying my neck looks smaller. I am cutting right now. I'm down from 230 to like 195. So I've definitely leaned out a little bit, but I think the neck is still pretty thick. It's just the camera angle. I don't know. You guys can tell me. But yeah. So this video, we're going to be covering primarily Bitcoin and Ethereum, both of which have had major breakouts and moves up over the last handful of days. Bitcoin obviously making a move today, kind of taking the steam back from Ethereum. What I want to do is kind of cover the usual, right? Where are we in price? Where's our next levels of resistance? Where are levels of support? What are some potential trade setups for the coming week? And we can go from there. So I've had a lot of people in Discord ask me, what's going on with this, that, and the other thing. Like, if you've been watching my videos over the last month plus, we've been crushing these moves. I don't know. I don't know why people are confused. Like, they're DMing me being like, "Oh, what are we thinking on Bitcoin?" It's like, dude, last Sunday, we called for longs on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. I said Ethereum to 3,700 at least, maybe more. Clearly, that's been crushed. And Bitcoin to 53K. We were looking to long dips. We laid multiple scenarios out, and they both played out to a T. So I am a swing trader, right? Most of my trades I'm entering are in the hourly or the 4-hour, sometimes even the 12-hour. So it takes some time for them to play out. So just because price isn't doing exactly what I want immediately, that's okay. Sometimes it takes 1, 2, or 3 days. Before the trade will actually develop, and that's what's going on. So hopefully you guys are following along, making some money with me. Real quick, we'll get to the sponsor of this video. The sponsor, as usual, is Bybit. So shout out to the Bybit team for continuing to help me put on these live streams and the altcoin videos as well. Right now, we are talking about the new cloud mining that is available on Bybit. So using the link in the description, you can try out their dual asset mining. It is hassle-free. They've got very flexible financing options, immediate access to liquidity mining via Uniswap v3, liquidity provisions strategies employed by industry professionals. Make sure you're getting the highest yields possible. It's very hassle-free, worry-free. They've got really high-level security infrastructure and risk control to make sure that your funds are safe. So check that out. If you're interested in doing some cloud mining, you can check the link in the description and see what's offered through Bybit. So shout out to the Bybit team as always. And let's get into it now. I'm going to be trying to keep this stream a little quick. I'm going to stream through the weekly close. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I feel like shit. I drank probably an entire 2.6 of whiskey last night to myself. And it was super aggressive. Super fun time at the wedding. All that stuff. It was great. But yeah, my head is ringing. I'm wearing a Nike hat and Adidas pants, and then Nike socks and Adidas shoes. So that just should let you know where my head is at right now. Just complete disarray, and it's unacceptable. Cool. Yeah, smash the like button, guys. Let's get 100 likes here. There's 300 plus of you watching already. Let's fucking get into it. So we're bullish on the Bitcoin. We're bullish on Ethereum, and I'll talk to you guys about why I was long Ethereum first. So if you've been following along, I was bullish on Ethereum. I thought Ethereum was going to lead the next move, and it did. And then I sent out a tweet like 2 days ago saying I'm shifting from Ethereum back into Bitcoin. So if you want to understand how that works, go watch that first altcoin series video I did where I go into the FBTC ratio in detail. And we talk about how you can time your trades according to the ratio to determine, okay, if I need to long Bitcoin or Ethereum, which one is going to be the higher beta play? Which one should I be longing? And the FBTC ratio, as well as the price action of each of them, tell you what is going to be the most optimal asset if you had to pick one. And so I timed this one pretty well with longing Ethereum to like 38.50, 39, and then I switched into Bitcoin. You can see that Bitcoin is actually up twice as much, a little bit more actually, than Ethereum today. So I'll kind of cover what were the setups, how did we get in, what are the resistance levels, all that fucking fun shit. And yeah, we'll just continue to crush it. A bunch of people here are just talking shit about a bunch of shit. So I know I said I was going to do a giveaway yesterday. I wasn't drunk when I tweeted that. We are going to do that. We'll be giving away $1,000 to someone who retweeted that tweet. I just need to find a way to pick one person to give the money away to. I obviously wanted to be fair as possible. So I know there's websites that will do like a retweet picker thing for you. So after this video, I'll pump that tweet into one of those retweet picker things. I'll maybe even record a video of it. Yeah, we'll post it and someone's going to win $1,000. I also have an NFT giveaway going on. So check that out on my page. This group called Dirty Devils reached out and asked if I want a one-on-one for a profile pic. It looks sick. I said, sure. Those are minting right now. So I'm going to there's a custom one of one I'm going to give away, and I'll give away of a couple other ones. I minted a few myself, so I'll give away a couple of those as well. And I think they're pretty cool. So let's start with Bitcoin here. So as usual, we are indecision last week. The first red candle in fucking ages, right? First red candle in ages. It's like, oh, is this maybe the temp top? Like, if you go look at last week's stream and then you look at Twitter, going into last week's weekly close, everyone's like, okay, we've got 5 green weekly candles in a row. Finally, we print a red one. Maybe it's time for a correction. We're going to 42K. We're going to blah, blah, blah. And this next candle this week is just an absolute Chad thundercock of a candle, just massive green dildo, and that's exactly what I was expecting. And I talked about this in the last video. If you go watch last week's stream, I said I'm expecting Bitcoin to break out here, and I'm expecting it to accelerate with a big green candle, and we're going to be heading to like 55K, and that's kind of what's happening right now. So I'm really excited with how this is playing out. I'm super duper long Bitcoin right now, so it feels good, man. And we'll kind of talk about some potential setups here. We can see, okay, if you missed this setup, how do you get in the next trade here? So there was a couple setups that played out super duper clean. So I'll go over those in hindsight here, just kind of give you an idea so you can see what it looks like. And then we could talk about some potential setups that we're going to look for going into the next week. So if we're just looking at Bitcoin on a high time frame here, what is the draw on price? And we've been talking about this forever. I actually have a tweet that I sent out back in June when we were trading down here, and it was just this box and then an arrow like this, right? Because essentially this is the area where that complacency bounce, if this is a complacency bounce, would happen to, or at the very least where I expect us to find some resistance. This is the point of origin of this entire dump. This is a bearish order block. Go watch my order block video that I just posted. This is the bearish order block that broke market structure near a key high time frame level, right? And what happens is we let price rally away, and then we wait for it to return, and that's where we look for our short setup if there is going to be one. I don't necessarily think that we're going to do this. We could, anything is possible. This doesn't feel like a complacency shoulder to me. Like complacency shoulder, like I think it would have happened a lot faster. Like we spent 3 months down here and then we fucking rallied away. So I don't feel like this is complacency. Maybe that is me being complacent, just thinking we're gonna rip to new all-time highs. But this was a pretty big fucking shakeout here, and obviously, very clearly, there was some large players and smart players accumulating here. Where do they distribute the Bitcoins that they accumulated here? Is it up here, right? Or is it much higher? Or do they distribute some up here? I don't fucking know. I don't really care. I'm just going to continue to trade level to level because that's what works for me, right? So this is the bearish order block, the up candle before the down move that broke market structure. So on a first return to this area, we will absolutely be looking for signs to potentially get short. This is a very, very key area in the chart. The issue is this is the weekly candle, right? So this is a 10% box in price. So if you're just looking to short this here, you know, your stop is far away, right? At the very closest, it's here. Or a looser stop, right, would be above all-time high. I don't really like that setup. So that's not one I'd be interested in taking. Rather, what I'll be doing is I'll be looking for signs of potential weakness here on the lower time frames. So if we're coming into a weekly area that I expect to be resistance, I want to go and look at the low time frame for clues that the trend might be shifting back in line with that weekly order flow, because this is a lower high potential here on the weekly, right? And what is, if this ends up just doing this in here on the 4 hour and the lower time frames, price will be putting in bearish market structure before the weekly even starts to turn bearish, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for in this coming week. I have a feeling that we push pretty hard into this zone before even getting some sort of a retracement. However, if we're going to get some sort of big correction, right, on this move, what the fuck? My fibs are fucked. First of all, why would I ever use fucking that ugly ass fucking blue color? If we're going to get some sort of big correction on this move, let's assume we push to 55K, right, which is effectively the open here. I think the correction would occur from this area, right? And maybe it does something like this, and then we go up again. I don't fucking know, right? I have no idea. I very much doubt that we come all the way back here and retest this area. Could we? Is anything possible? Of course, anything is possible. How do I make this my default fucking fib? Can someone in the chat tell me how to make this the default fib? Because I'm fucking I'll have a fucking meltdown, and I'm way too hungover to deal with this bullshit. Water. Literally giving me life right now. Could we come back here? Anything is fucking possible. Would I want us to come back to like 35,000? I mean, fucking absolutely not. I think that'd be insane before making a new all-time high, but it is possible, right? We could have a very deep pullback and then continuation. Anything is possible. But if I had to guess, the two most likely scenarios for me are move up into here and then get a pullback and then continue, or move up into here and then just reaccumulate, consolidate, range, shake a bunch of people out, right? And then continue through all-time high. Those are the two most likely scenarios I think will happen. But this is just an area where I think it would behoove you to be safe and to potentially hedge your bets. If you bought a bunch of Bitcoin down here, it is not a terrible idea to take some profit into this area. I'm not saying sell all your Bitcoin to Tether, but this would be the optimal area to at least take some profits. And the reason it's nice, like let's say you're not interested in shorting at all. Well, you could hedge some of your BTC longs or take some profit on spot buys from down here up here. And what you now know is if this is a bearish order block and we reject, there you go. You've protected yourself from some downside. However, if we do this, this is now a bullish breaker. And so any sort of move back into here is a giga long. So maybe you hedge some of your BTC here, right? It breaks up. That next pullback, you re-long. So maybe you miss 5% of the move. but you're now super duper long again with an invalidation here for a massive leg up. Because if this becomes a bullish breaker, the move that comes after that is going to be massive to the upside. So your invalidation of where the idea is wrong in terms of taking some profits or shorting is relatively close based on the weekly chart, and you have a clear level to flip bias at, right? If we get above here, you're longing every dip towards much higher prices. You do not need to catch. Let's assume that we're going to 80K. Let's just speak hypothetically. Like, let's say this is where we're going, right? If you're long from here to here, right? And then you close some of your long, and then eventually we end up going here, but you missed out on like this because you said, okay, I'm going to hedge here, and then you re-long up here. You still crushed this move, right? You do not need to catch the entire move. The goal is to catch the meat of the move and protect yourself from potential downside. You do not have to do this at all. If you're like, we're going to 80K, I'm 100% sure of it, by all means, just hold all your Bitcoin. But if we do something like this, are you going to freak out and go, oh shit, I should have taken profit up here. Then you take profit here and then it bounces and then you fucking buy back higher, right? Just have a plan and stick to it. So I'm just explaining how my thought process is going into this area and what I'm going to do. If you think we're going way higher and you don't give a fuck, then who gives a fuck? Right? Just do you, but just have a plan. This to me is the optimal area to at least take some profits, hedge, or at the very least be careful of being super duper long into this kind of, key weekly area of resistance. I think this 55 to like 50, 60K area, if we're going to put in a big lower high or just a temporary lower high, whether it does this or it does, a much deeper pullback, this is where that will form. I don't think it goes like this and then comes all the way back down here. I think if we're going to have a big correction, this is the area where that correction will form. So whatever you choose to do is up to you. But I will be monitoring this area very close, taking some profits on spot buys from down here, taking some profits on longs, and looking for potential signs to weakness. I'm not just going to be shorting here blind. You absolutely could, but that's not something I'm interested in. I'll be watching on the lower time frames, the daily, the H4, the 12-hour, to see if we get any reasons to get short. If there's any clues saying, hey, actually, this looks like it might pull back, let's get into a short or hedge our bet. So what I'm going to do is just mark out these two levels here, and then I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to try that again. I'm going to mark. What the fuck, dude? Hold on. Are my levels black? Bro, my fucking trading view's been fucking hacked by someone with terrible taste in aesthetics. Okay, that is that weekly order block there. Now we're going to zoom in a little bit and say, okay, what are some potential trades? Because in all honesty, if I zoom into the 12-hour, this is, to me, where I think price comes to next, right here. Okay, we've had this level marked for a long time, so this is a 12-hour order block within that weekly order block. This is where I think price is coming to. So how do we get in there? What is the long the dip strategy, right? Because we're basically just in a monster uptrend here. So we just made a higher high. The weekly is about to close green. We're going to close through this high, and we're closing through this high. So I think it's a week where we're going to be longing the dip into this area. So just looking at the 12-hour chart, I think you want to be looking. If this is not white, I'm going to have a fucking meltdown. Okay. This 12-hour candle is going to close as a new higher high, right? So effectively, what are we looking for? We're looking for retracements into this range to get long early this week. I don't know how deep they will come. I don't know any of that shit, but if we get any sort of retracement back into this high, which is around 50,500 down to about 49,500, so this is a little $1,000 range here, that's an SR flip that I want to buy if given the opportunity. Will we get it? I don't know, but if we get any sort of pullback there, I'm looking to long the dip up into about 55,000. I think 53,000 could provide some resistance, and then 55,000 is ultimately where I'm targeting. And all of this has been laid out in the last stream as well as on tweets on Twitter. We had the magnet drawn up here as the where we're going on price. So all that shit is fine and dandy. That's where I think price is going to. So we're looking at long dips this week, absolutely. I do think we're going to actually see a bit of a bounce on BTC dominance, which might mean that you want to focus on longing Bitcoin instead of longing altcoins. But there's been opportunities everywhere over the last week. I mean, we've got money pouring out of our ears at this point between the volatility and in crypto and then the NFT stuff. There's money coming everywhere. There's tons of opportunity. I know sometimes it can be overwhelming, right? You get that fear of FOMO because you're like, holy shit, this guy just flipped this NFT for all this money and this guy's long this altcoin that just went up huge and like blah, blah, blah. And you get kind of like paralysis by analysis. What you need to do is create a fucking plan. And once you have a plan, your stress levels and your levels of FOMO will be greatly reduced because you will have an actual actionable plan for what you're going to do if certain things happen. And what I'm giving you right now is a plan on how to get long on Bitcoin, right? And then you set your alerts, and if they play out, it plays out. So looking at the 1 hour here, this is a pretty vertical move. So I wouldn't really short this right now unless something crazy happens. But effectively, we're looking for this range to get retraced into. And we're looking for a reason to get long. So again, that kind of area from the 12-hour chart, is right around here. So if we pull a fib from here to here, I would imagine that this line is right around the 62% retracement if I had to eyeball it. I already know that this thing's fucked. You're not going to get me this time, you piece of shit. Look at that. Eyeballed it to the fucking T. That's that 20/20 vision. Don't let the glasses fool you. That's kind of where I'd be interested in reloading on Bitcoin longs if given the opportunity. Now, we might not pull back that far. If we consolidate up here, and then we put in like a little like kind of SFP of the range or some sort of low time frame sweep, right? Maybe the weekly open would be our key level. We dip below the weekly open, reclaim it. That might be all you get. You might not get the deep pullback. But if we do get the deep pullback, I'm looking around 50,400, 50,500 as a deep pullback potential. Otherwise, if we consolidate up here after a decent up move and then we get some sort of low time frame action like this, that would be kind of a long trigger, right? Where you enter here, your stop would go there, and your target would be up there. So hopefully that makes sense for everyone in terms of the plan for Bitcoin. I don't really see any short scenarios playing out right now. Unless we put in some sort of swing high here and then put in a big SFP or like some sort of over under, maybe I would be interested in shorting this back down. But to be honest with you, I believe shorts on any sort of significant time frame right now are counter trend. The 12-hour is bullish, right? The daily is bullish. The 3-day chart is bullish. So, the 4-hour chart is bullish. The 1-hour chart is bullish. So if you're looking for a short, you need to be basically on quite a low time frame and realize that you are trading counter the high time frame trend, which means likely the potential of your trade setup working out is going to be greatly reduced, right? We want to trade with high time frame order flow. If high time frame order flow is bullish, just because the fucking 30-minute chart looks a little bearish, I got to realize the H4, the daily, the 12-hour are all bullish. Rather than trying to short, I want to be looking for reasons to get long on pullbacks to get that continuation. I'm just kidding. So hopefully that makes fucking sense, guys. I'm not gonna lie, my brain is operating at sub 50% capacity right now, so I feel like I'm making sense, but to be honest with you, I have no idea. This to me is the draw. This is where I think we're going. I don't know what I'm drawing here. I think I was trying to draw magnet and then an X, and now we have this. But this is where I think price is going eventually, 55K. But I do think 53K would be kind of our short-term target back into this price floor here, and then ultimately this would be my next target. And again, I will be looking for signs of weakness into this area, right? If we get some triggers of weakness, like a high time frame swing failure pattern on the daily, the 12-hour, something like that, that will be our first clue that we may be rounding off and potentially turning around. Okay, so we'll wait and see, but this weekly is about to close green. We're about to close as a higher high on most of the high time frames that I watch. So longing dips is still the plan till a few $1,000s higher. All right. So does anyone have any questions? Is what I explaining making sense, or am I just fucking talking out my ass because I'm hungover and I don't really know what's going on? This was the long setup that we talked about on stream last week. So if you look here, this was our last week's stream here, and we talked about a pullback, right? And we got a 12-hour bullish swing failure pattern, right here. It's hard to see, but this is a bullish SFP on the H12. H12 is bullish, right? We're up, we're here to here, so we're in a bullish 12-hour range. Pulled back, bullish H12 SFP into a 12-hour breaker. That was your long signal, okay? Or if you missed that, here's another breaker. The up candle that caused the down move, you could have longed there. And then ultimately you could have zoomed in and said, okay, well, if we're bullish in this zone, what do I want to do? I want to look for low time frame triggers to get long. And you had a few of them here, right? Here's your hourly breaker right here. Okay, this is now in an uptrend on the hourly. What are we looking for? Bullish order blocks to buy the dip into because we're bullish. Here's your bullish order block right here. Price down candle, rallies away, breaks market structure to the upside, pulls back, launches. I'll pull my fib just for shits and giggles right into the OTE. This is 101. So last stream before, and the altcoin video, I explain exactly these concepts, but these are 100% my bread and butter type of setups, and they played out perfectly here on Bitcoin. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Let me know in the chat. I'm going to take a quick second here to drink some water because I'm literally dying. And I'll look at the chat. I'll get caught up. Let me know if all of this shit I'm saying makes sense or if I should just shut up. Okay, so I can only scroll back so far. Pray really hard tomorrow. It should be good. Okay. Dude, last fib you use is the default. Okay. Is there any way we can know if this is a bullish or bearish consolidation? Well, look at the preceding trend that goes into the consolidation, right? And then look for clues that price wants to either continue that trend or if it's looking like it's going to reverse. It's going to show you, right? If we're, first of all, we're not consolidating, we're trending. But if we are going like this, right? The preceding trend is bullish here. So we want to look for reasons, right? Deviation, reclaim the mid-range, retest the range high for this to see continuation. If this is going to reverse, it will show you. And generally, you'll get something like a fake out to the upside and then a break back down. It's all market structure though, right? How do you know if the trend, the consolidation is bullish or bearish? Well, what is the market structure? Are we making higher highs or higher lows? Or are we breaking levels? Even though it's going sideways, there's still market structure here, right? There's still market structure here. Break of a low, lower high, right? And that it breaks down, right? So there's still market structure even in a consolidation. You just got to zoom in, find the right time frame, and then start looking for clues whether or not this thing is going to break down or break up. Everyone please like the video. I completely agree. Drink electrolytes. Don't tell me what to do, but that's probably a good idea. Use the delete button, not the undo. Okay, Altcoin Psycho, what's up, homie? He says, let's discuss the real topic here. Donda or Certified Lover Boy? Certified Lover Boy is not Drake's best album by any means, but it is so much better than Donda. It's not even funny. I think Donda sucked. What is it? 27 tracks on Donda. I found maybe 3 that I like, and I had to listen to them like a few times before I was even kind of into them. I think Kanye lost the plot a long time ago. There's like just diehard Kanye fans who thinks he's this fucking genius. I mean, he is a genius. He's made some of the best music ever, in my opinion, but I don't think he's had that much good shit in a long time. Life of Pablo was decent, but like 808s, that was kind of my last like Kanye album where I was like, holy shit. Why no streaming on Twitch? Because I'm not at home, so I don't have that set up here. He's Canadian. He's got to pick Drake or they'll take away his healthcare. That is true. That is true. At 53K, sell all your Bitcoin to Apex. No, thanks though. Um, uh, if I invest 500 is good enough to start, what are the future trends for Ethereum? Tony, what the fuck kind of question is that, bro? Do you have any idea what you're doing? Like, are you just going to put 500 bucks in Ethereum and hope it goes up? I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. Here's some not financial advice. Do not invest more than you're willing to lose or you're able to lose, and do your own fucking research. I'm not here to tell you what the fuck to do. I'm just here to show you guys how I mark up the charts and things I might think might happen. But if you're asking me, is $500 good enough to start? What's that mean? Are you trading, or are you just putting in 500 bucks and hoping it becomes more? If you put 500 bucks into Ethereum right now, for that 500 to become 10,000 or 5,000, Ethereum needs to go to $39,000, right? So what is the likelihood that Ethereum 10x's from here? I don't know. That's for you to fucking decide. But if you're asking if $500 is enough to trade, sure. I mean, any amount is enough, right? It's all relative. The account size doesn't matter. You're risking a set percentage. Stop thinking in terms of dollars, being like, okay, I'm risking 20 bucks. I'm risking 2,000 bucks. It's just a percentage, right? You're risking 2% of your account. And that way, when your account gets bigger, you won't get shook out from sizing up, because it's just a set percentage. It's 2%. Whether that 2% is 2,000, 20,000, 200, doesn't really matter. If you invest 500 and you're using it to trade and try and build your account, you can turn that into a lot of money if you know what you're fucking doing. By the way you framed your question, I have a feeling you don't know what you're fucking doing. Yeah, man, it sounds like you got some, you should learn some of the basics. Like, if you're on YouTube just hoping people tell you exactly what the fuck's going to happen, you're in the wrong place. You got to put in the time in the charts and study and learn and figure things out and actually make a plan, know what risk management is and all that kind of shit before you even consider investing money. Or just buy and hold and then don't worry about any of the shit that I just said. My plan, market long everything. All right, homie. CME gap is at 50,200. Do you think that's a potential play? Possibly. I mean, the CME gap lines up well with that area that I had mentioned, right? So that definitely could be a potential play, right? So I was kind of talking around a retest back into here. So if there's a CME gap there, who knows? Maybe that gets filled. Thank you for your video about order blocks. It explains in detail about how to identify them. You didn't talk much about short order blocks, but I imagine it's simple as inverting the chart. It's just the exact opposite, right? So if a bullish order block is the down candle before an up move that breaks market structure to the upside, a bearish order block would be an up candle before a down move that breaks market structure to the downside. It's just the complete inverse. I have not gone over ETH yet. Clear as mud. Thanks for the take. All right, good. You're crushing it. Appreciate it, big dog. I appreciate you, bro. Mate, you need some coconut water. Okay. I don't like coconut water, though. What's going to happen to alts? The fuck kind of question is that, man? Come on now. I'm too hungover for fucking stupid questions today. If Bitcoin rips, right, good chance some alts take the back seat. Right? I've taught you exactly how to figure out what's going to happen to the alts you're in. Don't make generalizations. If you're holding Ethereum, go look at the FBTC chart and figure out if it's bullish or bearish, and that's going to tell you whether or not you should be in Bitcoin or in Ethereum. Substitute Ethereum with any fucking alt that you're looking at, do that same analysis, and there's your answer, right? I'm teaching you guys to fish. I'm not giving you fish. Remember that. What about alt, sir? Specifically, if one is going parabolic, how do you know when to compound and take profit? Sorry for the dumb question. At least you apologized. It's not a dumb question. When something's going parabolic, it can be very hard to trade. Generally, what I would do is once I'm up, like, multiple X's on something, right? If I'm up 2X on my investment, I always take some off the table and then just use market structure as a guide, right? As long as the market structure, like if your chart looks like this on the fucking daily, on the 1 hour, it's going to look like this, right? So use market structure. Okay, bring your stop up to here, then bring it up to here, then bring it up to here, then bring it up to here. And as long as it keeps making higher highs and higher lows, right? And then eventually maybe it does this. Okay, well now you're out. But maybe that's because it's going to start correcting downward now because it's broken market structure. So as long as it keeps making bullish market structure, stay in it. And then, trail your stop, take some profits along the way. But if it's parabolic, go find a time frame where there's actual, levels that you can see and buy the fucking dips. And as long as it keeps going, keep doing it. But eventually it will break market structure and, there you go. That's when you get out. You don't need to catch from here to here, right? But if you catch from here to fucking here, you did really well. That's what I would do. I have not announced the winner yet. God, there's fucking so many. You wish my son Lord Winter happy birthday last stream. His birthday's on the 9th. He says you're much better than BitBoy. He's 7. Thanks, bro. Thanks, Lord Winter's son. Okay. I'm just gonna get into Ethereum now, guys. I'm going to get into Ethereum now. Yeah, I'll come back to the chat in a bit here because there's a bunch going on and my fucking brain is jelly today, guys. I'm sorry. So Ethereum, bullish as fuck as well. I talked about this as being, I think, the draw on price right around here. And we came up to my level, little pullback, nice retest there, and boom, we're legging up again. So it looks pretty good. But the reason I rotated out of Ethereum here into Bitcoin was this chart, right? So what I initially posted here is right here. Go check my Twitter. I said, I think Ethereum leads the way on the next move because we came into support, right? Made a higher high, made a higher low, made another higher high, another higher low. So I said, okay, I think Ethereum comes up to here and tests this level, and I think it leads the breakout, right? Remember, this chart is the ratio between Ethereum to Bitcoin. So if this chart is bullish, that means Ethereum is more bullish than Bitcoin. And so that's how I was able to predict that Ethereum was going to outpace Bitcoin in the next leg. And that's exactly what happened. So instead of longing Bitcoin, I longed Ethereum. I caught the higher beta move. Both went up, but Ethereum went up more. And then when we came up into resistance here, go check on Twitter. The tweet here was Ethereum is going to outpace Bitcoin. The tweet here was I'm shifting back out of Ethereum back into Bitcoin because we came into a high level time frame level of resistance. And while I think both are still bullish, I said, I think this is resistance. Maybe we do something like this and then continue higher. And so during this period of time, Bitcoin is going to be outperforming Ethereum. So I'm going to want to be long Bitcoin rather than Ethereum. And if you want to add another layer of complexity, you can also go look at the BTC dominance chart, see if that is looking bullish, which also might be a clue that Bitcoin is going to lead the next move. But effectively, it was as simple as that. Ethereum was into support, and I thought it was going to break higher. Ethereum BTC, excuse me. So I said, I want to be long FUSD rather than BTC USD. And then when we came into resistance, I rotated back. And as you can see by right now, this is down 2% or 1.5% on the day. Bitcoin is up 2x what Ethereum is, right? This chart exemplifies the difference in the strength between the two assets, and it will allow you to determine which might be the higher beta play, where your money might want to be, all that fucking fun stuff. And I talked about this in my altcoin series. So if you want an explanation on how to understand this ratio better, go watch that video. But yeah, this is why I went into ETH, and this is why I rotated back into BTC. Support, now we're into resistance, expecting probably a little bit of a pullback here. ETH USD does still look bullish. We came up, we tested my level, retested it, and we're now pushing away again. If you look at the H12, this is effectively about as clean as it gets in terms of a bullish order block. So we were basically saying, if you go watch my last video, I said as soon as Ethereum closes through this level, I'm expecting it to teleport. It's exactly what happened. We got the close through, teleport. So, you know, again, this is consolidation, but to me this looked bullish because we were grinding into a level and we were making higher highs and higher lows. And then once we close through this level, there was your teleport. And if you look right here, this is about as clean as it gets in terms of a bullish order block there. Fuck you. What? Give me this. Oops. Right? Here's your down candle before an up move that breaks market structure near a key high time frame level. You're buying the dip, right? So if you missed the long down here, why are you not longing this pullback here? And if we break up again here, guess what? Rinse and repeat. If we pull back into that new bullish order block that forms, you long it. So Ethereum looks pretty good still for higher prices. Right now, I do think Bitcoin's going to lead the way a little bit. I think Bitcoin is really coiling up for a big move. We could have a 10% move on Bitcoin here, which would bring us to that 55, 56K level that I was talking about. But, you know, ultimately Ethereum is, you know, looking like it wants to just rip through to all-time high. I mean, the monthly chart is insane. This chart is insane as well. I mean, again, where does this thing fucking stop? We're well through the 7.9 at this point. It looks very likely that Ethereum wants to make a new all-time high. Could Ethereum make a new all-time high and then Bitcoin reject here? I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I've never really seen anything like this. This chart's fucking crazy. But you know, it looks good, and as long as it keeps putting in bullish market structure, I'm not really interested in shorting it. Where do I think this move stops, or where do I think it might find some resistance here? I would probably venture to say this is the area, right? We're in it right now. So kind of like Bitcoin has this area up here that we're not quite into yet, right? Ethereum has moved further off the bottom. If there's any signs of weakness in here on the high time frame, like maybe, you know, we do one of these, then maybe I might be interested in shorting Ethereum. But at this point, as long as the high time frames keep putting in and the low time frames keep putting in bullish market structure, I don't think you want to short this thing yet until we get some sort of high time frame potential trigger, and then go to the low time frame and look for bearish price action to start forming. But this is an area to be cautious. Obviously, this is the bearish order block that caused this entire down move. So if a reversal happens, you know, it happens in here. But for now, this looks very bullish. So I would keep longing the dip. However, I do think that based on how this looks, right, there's going to be maybe a little period of time here where Bitcoin takes the driver's seat and outperforms Ethereum. And just from a market structure perspective, look at how much of a, you know, how further this is off the bottom. Like Bitcoin's the laggard here. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin takes the driver's seat a little bit and we see a big expansion up into here and it outperforms most altcoins. You know, if you look at LTC, for example, this has been a major laggard off the bottom. This is breaking out, you know, of a very key high time frame level right now. This is a big void here on LTC. So I would not be surprised if we see LTC trade towards, you know, 280 to 300 here very quickly. This is a big breakout here. We're finally breaking out of this range. I think you want to be longing dips on LTC up into 280 to 300. LTC is up 7% today. Look at the LTC BTC pair. This is bullish. Hence, it's outperforming Bitcoin. This is still bullish, but it's into resistance. Hence, Bitcoin is outperforming it, right? So why is LTC up 3% more than Bitcoin today versus USD? Well, it's because LTC versus BTC is bullish, meaning that fraction, the numerator, even though both are going up, the numerator is going up more. LTC being the numerator, it is outperforming. So LTC USD looks really good to me, and I think this is a big void here that is going to get filled quite quickly. So I think that looks good. We've got the weekly close coming up in about 13 minutes, guys. So I'm going to go to the chat here. I hope this stream made sense. This is not going to be my best stream by any means. My brain is operating at fucking half power at best. Do I need an invite code for cloud mining? Use the link in the description of the video. Hey Mayne, how you doing? Are you in any Doge positions? Thanks. I'm not long Doge. So I'm not long Doge personally, but I think I think it looks bullish here. And I think if we flip this level, 32 cents, could be a good long, right? Flip this bearish order block, SR flip, that would be a potential Doge entry if you were looking for one up into like, I don't know, 40, whatever this is, 42. So that could be a pretty nice little trade right there. Can you talk about adding to successful trades versus taking risk off the table? Do you have heuristics for when to do which option? So I mean, effectively what this guy is asking here is compounding winners versus taking risk off. So I think those things are not mutually exclusive, right? I think you can do both. If price is trending, let's say this is your structure to the left, right? And then we're on the way back up now. You're going to be looking to take profits at these areas, right? Because these are areas that price could potentially reject from, reverse from. So let's say you take some profits off here, and then we pull back. Well, if this is maintaining bullish market structure, you can now add back, right? Take some profits off here. You can now add back, right? So as long as price is continuing to show bullishness, you can take risk off at resistance and then add back on pullbacks, assuming you think the uptrend continues, right? But in an uptrend, where do you want to compound? You want to kind of compound at those higher lows, right? In a trending environment, I'm looking to get more. If I longed here, right, and then we broke high, I can add here. We broke high, I can add here. And you can also be taking some off the table here and then re-adding it back here, and you've now locked in gains along the way. So I would say for beginners, generally less is more. Set your entry, set your take profit, set your stop, and let the trade fucking ride. Less is more, right? You're going to fuck yourself up a lot taking profit early, closing trades too early, especially early on. Make the plan, stick with it. As you get better at trading, you have more experience, by all means, there are tons of ways that you can optimize your trades by taking profit, moving up stops, trailing stops, re-adding, compounding. But that's much more advanced stuff that I don't think you should be doing until you're already consistently able to make money on your basic trade setups. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. BitBoy says we're going to 240K. BitBoy can suck my left testicle. Overall thoughts on the NFT market at the moment. I mean, shit keeps going up, but I do think there's a lot of froth in the market right now. A lot of retail focused on NFTs as well. I've got friends who were messaging me at Bitcoin was at 50, 60K the first time about NFTs and if they should buy them and shit. I think 99% of NFTs are going to zero. Like, I think there's going to be the ones that have staying power, punks, the Fidenzas and art block shit, maybe Bored Ape Yacht Club, Pudgy Penguins, because I own a couple. But I think most of them are going to go to zero, just like altcoins. You have the ICO craze. A few of them stick around. Most of them go to zero. Doesn't mean you can't make money on the ones that end up going to zero, but just be aware. I think a lot of these will be illiquid and worthless outside of, maybe the big ones. So yeah, just be careful. It does seem a little bit frothy right now, for sure, in my opinion, but it can remain frothy for a long time. But yeah, I think there's a little bit of craziness, and we already saw a little bit of a spooking when F pumped. We saw some prices drop on a couple of things. So there's going to be the holders who are like, listen, I'm not selling this punk fucking ever. And there are going to be the people who are kind of trading NFTs. And, you know, what happens if ETH goes up 5 or 10% in a day? Are people going to freak out or drops 10% in a day and freak out and the floors on these things are going to drop? I don't really know. That was like say nothing, but in a lot of words is how that answer felt. What is the shortest time frame that's relevant? All time frames are relevant. As long as you understand that the lower time frames build into the bigger time frames, you can use any fucking time frame you want. The 1 minute, the 5 minute, it doesn't really matter. They're all relevant. But high time frame takes precedence over low time frame, right? Do you use any other data for confirmation except for price action? No, I only use price action. BitBoy is a great trader. Henry, if you're not joking, I'm going to block you immediately. You'll never be able to watch my streams again. Did you buy some ICP? No. Yo, how do I see if we're going up or down based on orders? Do I look at orders placed or do I look at orders filled? I don't really understand your question. I assume you're asking about like order book analysis. That's not something I do. Should I buy now? Maybe. Can you talk about adding? You already asked that question. Yo, mad props you and Qued. Between the two of you, you've taught me how to make bank. People here need to watch Cred's video. Cred's videos are incredible. People always ask me, like, how should I learn? Cred has an entire free education course on price action. I trade very similar to how Cred trades. It's all free on his YouTube. There's no point in me doing an educational series like that because it would pale in comparison to the amount of work and time and effort. As someone who's recently got into making videos, I made a 20-minute video shittily done about order blocks, and then I go watch what Cred does. It's like a university level course with PowerPoints and slides and notes. It's like an hour and a half long. The amount of work that goes into that is fucking insane, and he doesn't get nearly enough credit. Credit, get it? That even fucking rhymed? Even when I'm fucking hungover, I'm hilarious. Your baby Rune USD, please. Sure, we can look at Rune. Baby girl. Yeah, I mean, this looks like it's going to go up for sure. And I'm not just saying that. You know, like this looks like it's consolidating. As long as it holds this order block here, I think it continues to go up. In an uptrend. This is in an uptrend for sure. Price action looks very similar. Kind of looks like Bitcoin here. But yeah, I think Rune looks good. I'm just here for the BitBoy comments. We took it pretty easy on BitBoy today. Were you there for the roasting of Wolf of All Streets on Spaces? I was. Mayne, your opinion on CryptoFace and Market Cipher. People always ask me this. I don't know what that is. I don't know who CryptoFace is, and I don't know what Market Cipher is, so I have no opinion. Between Crane, Mayne, Cred, Mayne, and SZ and CBS, you can literally write your own ticket to wealth. Just put in the work. Put in the time. 100% agree, right? I think the reason most people fail at trading is not because it is hard. I mean, it is hard, but I think most people are just not willing to put in the time necessary and they give up. If you think it's hard and you don't want to put in the time, then give up. You big pussy, fucking give up. Fuck you, right? You got to put in the time. People think that making money is easy. If it was, everyone would fucking do it, right? Value is very scarce. So when you find it, right, you got to be willing to put in the effort to kind of extract that value. And the only way to do that, in my opinion, is putting in the time, putting in the work in the charts, thousands and thousands of hours. It takes repetition. I always liken it to sports, right? Like, you know, how many jump shots in practice is, you know, Kobe Bryant taking and free throws and whatever, right, before he can go and do it in the game. And it's incalculable, the amount of time. But most people are not willing to put in the effort. I think most people on the whole are very fucking lazy. Yeah. Fellow Canucks fan, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I mean, this is not my house, but yes, it is a nice jersey. LTC just took off Mayne. Pump it. Pump LTC. Yeah, like I said, this gap, I'm telling you, this gap on LTC is going to fill very quickly. 275, let's see, what's the level here? 278 on LTC is coming real quick. Do I know who Kobe's alt Twitter account is? No, I do not. Who is CBS? Cold Blood Schiller, who's the homie. Great content he puts out. The Divergence King. Okay. I'm like I'm overheating right now. I'm like all sweaty. It's gross. Fuck, I'm violently hungover. We got the weekly close here in literally 1 minute, so we will watch the chart here. The weekly is gonna close super duper fucking bullish, obviously. So yeah, the plan remains for this coming week to buy dips, buy dips, buy dips, buy dips. That is the plan, and we will keep doing it until proven otherwise. I just covered Doge. Can you talk a little bit about risk management and your approach to it? Sure, risk management, very important part of trading. Generally, I'm risking anywhere from 1 to 5% of my trading account on any given trade. And you also have to remember, let's say you want a maximum of 5% risk, right? You have to consider, is that on one position, right? Because if you open one trade at 5%, well, you're now at 5%. You can't open another one, right? Because now you have 10% of your account at risk if both trades were to get stopped out. So generally, I don't want more than kind of like 1 to 5, sometimes as much as 10% of my account at risk based on all the trades I have open at any given time. Risk management is super key. Right? Before you enter any trade, you need to know where's my entry and why, where is my stop and why, and where is my target and why. If you do not know the answer to those three things, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't have an actual plan. You're gambling, in my opinion. And how are you supposed to figure out the right position sizing and all that shit if you can't answer those three questions? So risk management, super duper fucking key. Cred has an entire video and a Medium article on risk management that I highly suggest you check out. How do you get so hangover? You drink too much vodka? Beer and wine is the way to go. I drank like an entire 2.6 of fucking whiskey on the rocks. No fucking chase. So that is how. This needs to be clipped so I can send it to my friends. I don't even know what you're talking about. AVAX, weak or strong? Weekly closed bullish, by the way, if anyone was wondering. Well, sorry, excuse me. I don't know, man. This looks pretty fucking strong to me. Like, basically, we talked about this in the last video. I talked about this exact setup. I said if it gives you a retest of this, it's a long. To me, this looks bullish here. Broke that low, but we're pushing up. Assuming we can make a higher high here, I think this just continues higher. But who knows? Could go sideways a bit more first, but I think this retest was a really nice long. And now just wait. If it can make a higher high above 52, let's say, if it can get back above 52, I think you long dips. Otherwise, I'd kind of sit on my hands as it stands right now. And I would wait for it to get above here. Once it gets above there, I think that is a long trigger for higher. What are those boxes and rectangles you keep making? They're exactly that. They're boxes and rectangles. They're order blocks. I just did a video on them. Check it out. It's on my YouTube. Why do I do 5% for all open trades? You need to do the math, right? You need to do the math. If you risk 10% per trade, right, you're only able to lose 10 trades until you blow up your account, right? So you need to do the math. What is your strike rate, right? If you're winning 35, 40% of your trades, is it possible that you lose 5 or 6 or 7 trades in a row? Absolutely, right? And if you do that and you're risking 10% per trade, you've completely fucked your account, right? So you need to do the math. There's a lot of spreadsheets and infographics that explain, percentage drawdown, how much it takes to get back to break even, as well as, what your strike rate needs to be based on the risk reward you're looking at per trade to determine where your break even point is. So these are all things that you need to understand and figure out before you even consider trading, in my opinion. And that's just how the math susses out, right? If you're risking 10% per trade, realize that if you lose 2 trades, you're now down 20% on your entire account. To get back to break even, let's say you had a $100,000 account, you're risking 10% per trade, right? You lose 2 trades in a row, you're now down to $80,000. To get back to break even, right, you need to do like 25% or something like that. I can't remember the fucking math, but it's you have to understand that going into drawdown is very detrimental to your account, right? So you want to be able to afford multiple consecutive losses in a row and not completely fucking nuke your account. Yeah, a 2.6 is 750 milliliters, 26 ounces. That's just like a Canadian slang term, a 2.6. Your streams are great. You do an extra job making potentially complicated topics simple and digestible. Okay, thanks, bro. I appreciate that comment. Do you have any advice for using different time frames? Should I just stick to one time frame for entry and exit? Use the high time frame like the daily plus for macro? I keep mixing them up and psyching myself out. Remember what I talked about earlier, and I went over this a lot in previous streams and shit. High time frame down, right? What is your high time frame trend? Let's say you use the daily to figure that out. Okay, on the H4, if the daily is bullish and your H4 is your entry time frame, you want to be looking for reasons to get long on the H4, not to get short. High time frame is bullish, therefore on your execution time frame, you're looking for longs. As long as you're doing that kind of top-down analysis, whether it's the daily to the H4 or the H1 to the 15-minute, as long as you're doing it in that method, you will be fine. But yeah, if your entry time frame is the H4 and then you're going on the 15-minute and psyching yourself out, realize that in an H4 uptrend, there's going to be a 15-minute downtrend, and you need to not let that psych you out of the fact that you're looking for continuation based on the higher time frame, right? I love this comment. Audio chart bullish? Question mark? I don't know, bro. You tell me, is it making higher highs and higher lows? Right? Is this bullish in your opinion? What do I see here? I see this as like, pretty good. Assuming it holds above here, right? I think if it can get above there, then I think we'll see continuation to the upside. Do you value any use of momentum-based indicators? I don't use any indicators, guys. Favorite whiskey right now. So here's the thing. I'm gonna embarrass myself because I still fucking don't. I know the difference between Scotch and whiskey and bourbon and all that shit and rye, but I'll call something. I call it all whiskey, even though it might be a Scotch. But I really like Glenfiddich, Glenmorangie. I also like Glenlivet and Macallan. I really like as well. I got for my 30th birthday, I got a bottle of Macallan 18, and it was fucking delicious. It tastes like candy. But the Scotch I was drinking last night, or the whiskey, or whatever the fuck it was shit. I know that much. So I just put a ton of rocks in it and just fucking hammered it back. What is this magic? How do you draw a straight line with a paintbrush? I think that was just luck. I think that was just luck. I don't think that's actual skill. Yeah, like I bet you I could never ever repeat it. Why is this stream called Eth and Chill? Because originally I would just cover Ethereum and we would chill, but now I also cover Bitcoin. But I don't know. Should I change the name of the stream? Should we? Do you have any tips for someone trying to scalp an altcoin like FTM? So I know FTM just went into price discovery, right? This is untradeable, but if you go to the lower time frame, you know, this was a straight line on the daily. But like I said, if you zoom in, you get an actual trend. So as long as this keeps putting in bullish market structure, right? We're bullish based on the high time frame. There's your bullish order block. Boom, right? Here's an SR flip. Boom. Here's another bullish order block, right? That got tagged right here. Here's a bullish order block. If we come down into here, I would probably long it. Otherwise, if we make a higher high, I'll look to long the dip. So as long as it keeps making higher highs and higher lows, you can keep looking for longs, right? You just need to zoom in to a lower time frame where you can actually see structure. Because if you're looking at this thing on the daily, I mean, the daily order block that is relevant is way the fuck down here, right? Could it come down here and do this? Absolutely, but that might take literally days. So if you're trying to scalp this thing, you need to go on a lower time frame and say, okay, the high time frame is bullish, so if this makes a higher high above here, I want to buy the next dip into that 15-minute order block. Something like that, right? BitBoy and chill. There is no chill with BitBoy. Okay, guys. So I'm hoping that this was a valuable stream. I know this wasn't my best performance between the technical difficulties, starting late, and just not fully being locked in because I had a bit of a ringer of a headache, and I still do. But I hope this was valuable. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be back home on Tuesday. I'll be recording my next altcoin video immediately. I'm going to do that giveaway tonight, maybe right after the stream finishes. So if you haven't retweeted that tweet, go retweet it. I'm also doing a NFT giveaway, so check that out. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was definitely some value. I think there was. I know it's probably not my most coherent stream, but I do think it still ended up being a pretty good one. But yeah, as usual, I appreciate you guys tuning in always. I'll be back to normal next week. Never drinking again is what I'll say. But we all know that that's a lie. Yeah, hopefully there was some valuable tidbits in here for you guys. I will be back. You can always hit me up on Twitter. Do I have a Twitter account? Yes, I do. Trader Mayne is my Twitter account. Hit me up on Twitter. Join my Discord. It's completely free. The link is in the bio of my Twitter. I'll do that giveaway. Shout out to BitBoy. BitBoy. Fuck BitBoy. Shout out to Bybit. Fuck BitBoy. Shout out to Bybit. Jesus Christ. But yeah, for sponsoring the video, check out the cloud mining stuff I talked about at the start. Link in the description. I already have a Pudgy Penguin, my man. But yeah, really appreciate you guys watching. Please share these videos, retweet, like the tweets, all that fun fucking stuff. Love you guys so much, and I will talk to you later via